All right, this is the Kubernetes KubeBuilder and controller runtime and controller tools meeting for what day is today? Should have looked at that before. Wednesday, February 12th of 2020. Just a reminder, this meeting is being recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube, so don't say anything that you don't want recorded for all of time. All right, and with that, we'll get started. So I think the first item on the agenda today is from Vince. So Vince, why don't you take it away?
Sure, thanks, Sully. Yeah, I have a few items today. So the first one is the controller runtime release. So I've been trying, like, from cluster API perspective, we're like a heavy user of controller runtime tools and KubeBuilder, and we're currently blocked on CRD v1, so I'm trying to push the controller runtime release, given that we updated to 117 a few days ago, I believe. Would that be something that like we could do today, or like if folks want to have more changes in, please speak up.
Yeah, I think we can do that today. I'll ping me on Slack and we can block out some time if anybody is interested in seeing how the release actually ends up going. It's pretty quick, especially for new major version bumps. So I can give a little tutorial. And I think most of it's recorded in our documentation, but in case people are curious to see what it looks like in real time, probably sometime after lunch.
One thing that maybe we want to put in is there's a bug fix open for the config loader working when the home environment variable is not set. Sully, I know you had some comments on that, and I think that's fixed up again. Wasn't sure if you want to try to get that in.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea. I didn't realize it had been fixed up. Yeah, I will take a look. Can you drop a link to that in the meeting notes or something?
Yep, I'll do that now.
And I'll try to take a look before we do the release.
And it's PR753, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. I have also the next one, and I wanted like to see like if folks are interested to have like a more frequent meeting for controller runtime tools and KubeBuilder. I can send out a doodle to see if like we have availability, but if folks think that like monthly is okay, like I'm also fine with that. It just feels like a little bit like a long time from the last meeting, given the amount of changes that we put in. All right, I hear no objection, so I'll send out a doodle, a KubeBuilder group, and see if we can find like time for a bi-weekly meeting.
Vince, do you think this would be like just this week meeting bi-weekly?
I think so. I think from my perspective, like there's like a bunch of like PRs in flight and like issues in the backlog that we can like groom like as we go. Like we're doing in cluster API, and trying to bring the same processes, which have worked really well. So yeah, like kind of the same meeting, like a little bit more structure in terms of grooming, but yeah, I think it would benefit the project.
Yeah, I think it's probably worth it to still do at least one kind of free form, just like people add things to the agenda and we talk about whatever. But yeah, having a grooming and a little bit more coordination as the project goes in terms of people being able to say like, yeah, I'll take a look at that or whatever, and having kind of open triage, I think would be nice. As you said, Cluster API does this. SIG API machinery also does this as well. So I think it's probably going to be a useful thing to try out.
Sounds good. I was planning to, which is the next agenda item, like do like a first backlog grooming for controller runtime next week. Unfortunately, this week is a little busy because we're trying to do our seed 0, so like I'm all over the place. And like so, like maybe mid or end of next week, I'll shoot an invite in the KubeBuilder channel to see like if folks are interested to do it together, and that could be like our first one. And then as we learn, like we might change things up a little bit.
Vince, if you want me, so I think I'm the one that sent the invite out for this meeting. So if we get to the point where we want to change anything about this one, just let me know and I can try to do that. Otherwise, we can set up a new meeting invite if we're going to do things separately. So just wanted to let you know that I'm the one that created this one in case we want to change it.
Thank you. Sounds good. I think for next one, we'll do one separate because we still don't know, like, well, one, how many things we have in the backlog, I guess a lot. And two, like if we want to change, like do the grooming as part of this meeting, I feel like the first one or two, like will probably be separate, and then we can incorporate them, have the free form and the grooming at the end.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
All right. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to talk about today?
I'm not sure if, yeah, Eric, if you have anything.
I guess I can give an update quickly on plugin stuff. So Adrian gave another review of the phase 1 implementation of the plugins, which is being merged into the Electric Boogaloo feature branch first, and he's more or less given it the LGTM. There are one or two things that I'm now thinking of changing, but they're quite minor. So I'm hoping that we can get one or two approving reviews this or next week.
Right.
The feature branch.
Yeah, I think last time I looked at it from my perspective, it was pretty good to go. Let me know when you're ready for an approval, because I think we already have a number of good reviewers on there, so I'll give it another glance and then we can get it.
Yeah, that's great. And then I've also posted the 2 follow-ups that I'm going to do that have to do with version format enforcement and the fully qualified name changes. And I've already got those 2 things figured out. I just need to post PRs after this big one has been merged.
All right, sounds good.
Awesome.
Oh, for anyone, I feel like I should give some context. I don't know if we talked about this last time or if it was after the meeting. So phase 1 and phase 2. So phase 1 of the plugins kind of work is just going to be getting what was talked about initially in the plugins proposal that we merged in, the plugins design. And then kind of phase 2 is going to be working on support. So that's just kind of like basic, like you can choose a single alternate scaffolding kind of type. So the default built-ins ones will be like the Go version 1 scaffolding and the Go version 2 scaffolding. And then potentially you can choose to build a different version of KubeBuilder that has additional plugins that add different types of scaffolding. Phase 2 is going to be to take that and work in external plugins and kind of pipelining plugins. So if you want to have like additive plugins that say add Bazel build rules or scaffold out an additional file that is commonly used by your organization or whatever inside your workflows, the idea is that you'll be able to specify additional, like, also I want the base Go and then I want the add Bazel rule or the add Bazel plugin, and then every time you run things, you'll get the base Go scaffolding plus the extra Bazel.
Yeah, and there will be a design doc posted fairly soon outlining the phase 2 changes. So if anybody's curious, take a look at that when it's up. Is that it?
I don't have anything else to talk about this week. So unless anyone else has anything to talk about, I think we can give everybody some time back from their day.
Sounds good.
All right. Hopefully see y'all next week for our first experiment with community backlog grooming. And otherwise, see you in a few weeks.
Looking forward to it. See you all later.
Thank you all. Bye.